Welcome to Witch Weekly, your weekly dose of all things Harry Potter and Harry Potter related. I'm your host Mel, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host Marissa.
Hi Mel.
I was going to try and compliment you more, but my brain died. It's not that I don't love you.
I understand. You just couldn't think of anything really nice to say to me.
Not in the spur of the moment, no. I need to prepare for these things. Make sure it's like the best thing I could say in that moment.
Alright, I'm going to look forward to that.
Apparently it was World Compliment Day earlier this week.
Was it now?
Yeah, there's a day for everything. In fact, apparently there's a day to celebrate the fact that there's a day for everything.
That does not surprise me.
Which I think is needed, just to remind everybody how ridiculous it can get.
It really is ridiculous. Not everything needs to be celebrated.
Maybe we should make our own day, Witch Weekly Day.
What day would that be?
Don't know, but do you think it would even get off the ground is the question. Us and our 10 listeners.
Yeah!
We'll show the world. So today we are discussing Azkaban.
Alright.
And before we jump into this really interesting topic, I've got a question for you.
I thought you might.
And I feel kind of bad. I feel like I should have prepared you for this question. It is, what happy memory would you use to fight? Use to form a Patronus to fight Dementors?
You should have warned me.
I know. Don't worry. I only just thought of it just before I called you on Skype, so I'm also desperately thinking.
I think it would be, maybe it would be just the first time I was on vacation with my entire family. We do every year the aunts and uncles and cousins and my grandparents would go down to a beach and we'd rent a beach house for a week and just be together as a family. And we only had a couple of years of our grandparents going with us. And now that my grandpa's gone, makes me really appreciate the times that we did get to spend with him. So maybe just the memories of us being together as a family on vacation.
That sounds really nice. Yeah, I think mine would be me and my dad doing rally driving together. Just being together and hanging out. Doing something we both enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, feel all warm and buttery now.
Well, that's good, since this is going to be a super depressing topic to talk about.
Yeah. So Pottermore has a page dedicated to Azkaban now. And it tells us that Azkaban was originally a fortress that belonged to a sorcerer called, I'm going to massacre this, Ecrizdis. Let's call him Eddie. Ecky.
Eddie.
Ecky.
Ecky?
Ecky.
Okay.
So
I can go with that.
Ecky was an extremely powerful sorcerer, but we don't know where he came from. And they believe he was insane. No one knows, but they think he was probably insane.
He probably was. Living in the middle of the North Sea all by yourself.
Well, he wasn't on his own.
Well, practically on his own.
He practiced the dark arts and would lure Muggle sailors to his island, where he would sadistically torture and kill them.
Yeah, sounds like a swell guy.
Sounds lovely. That's and Wizards didn't even know he was there. Nobody knew he was there because Azkaban, the island, was covered in concealment charms that only faded when he died.
Just seems odd that there would be a whole bunch of dark magic that could be concealed to that point.
Yeah, especially by how powerful we're led to believe this magic was, and no one was able to detect it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but after he passed away, the Ministry were able to realise that there was something there. I do like what it says on Pottermore. It says, the Ministry of Magic realized that either an island or a building existed. I just have this image now of this house just sitting on the ocean.
Yeah, I think there needs to be an island for there to be a building.
You would hope.
Unless I'm completely off base.
Yeah, we could be wrong.
It's one or the other. Can't be both.
Yeah. Maybe it levitates just above sea level.
I mean, I guess that's possible.
Anyway, so the Ministry of Magic sent some people around, and they refused to talk about what they found inside. It was so terrible. But I'm just saying, they cleared it out at some point. Someone had to go in there and clean it out to make it a prison, you'd think.
You would think so, but who?
Who knows? But, this is the scary thing. The least frightening thing they discovered was that it was infested with Dementors.
You see the least frightening thing?
Least.
So the thing that's supposed to bring up your worst memories was not the worst thing they found there. It was actually the best thing.
I won't say best. It was the least worst thing.
Which, by process of elimination, would make it the best thing.
Yeah, but that makes it sound positive. Yay, we found Dementors!
Yay, soul-sucking monsters! Woo!
And they're not as scary as anything else we found.
I want to know what else they found. That's my question.
I think JK's leaving it up to your imagination, like, whatever you can think up is worse than what she can write. Because everybody will think of something different.
Right.
Although, having said that, I cannot think of anything worse than Dementors. I'm also there going, but what? I don't have an imagination. Fill me in.
I can't imagine something worse than, monsters that make you relive your worst memory.
Yeah. It's just... Yeah. But they left the Dementors there. And...
yeah, they're like, this is fine for them to be here.
Yeah, just leave them there. But what happened is people wanted to destroy the island because it was so evil. However, there were many officials who were afraid that if they destroyed the island, the Dementors who lived there would, move on somewhere else.
Right.
And they're impossible to kill, so people feared that they would take out revenge if they destroyed their habitat. It says, the very walls of the building seemed steeped in misery and pain, and the Dementors were determined to cling to it. Experts who had studied the buildings built with and around dark magic contended that Azkaban might wreak its own revenge upon anyone attempting to destroy it. The fortress was therefore abandoned for many years and remained a home to continually breeding Dementors.
But don't they breed by sucking the life force out of people?
I don't know.
Because they breed in despair and misery.
Yeah.
So if they're just around each other, can they breed?
They were saying that Azkaban's walls was steeped with misery and pain. So maybe the residual was enough to sustain them.
Maybe.
It was like pouring from the building.
Ugh.
So, it should have been left like that, but no. Wizards can't leave well enough alone.
Nope, never.
So the International Statute of Secrecy came in, and the previous method were small wizarding prisons dotted throughout the country. And
I was wondering what they did before Azkaban was a thing.
Yeah, they just had little wizarding prisons. But they were worried that they were now a security risk because attempts by incarcerated witches and wizards this is a quote from them, often led to undesirable bangs, smells, and light shows.
I mean, that makes sense.
As they tried to escape. So I can see there was a security risk. And so they started talking about a remote, purpose-built island, and Demolcus Rowell, we know that last name, became Minister of Magic. So he was an authoritarian who had a very anti-Muggle agenda and capitalized on the anger felt by wizards about being forced to go underground. So Raoul scrapped plans for a new prison and decided to use Azkaban.
Well, it's more cost effective that way.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy land and build a prison if you already have one that's out in the middle of nowhere and infested with monsters.
Well, yeah, he claims that the Dementors living there were an advantage. They could be harnessed as guards, saving the Ministry time, trouble, and expenses.
Yeah, you don't have to pay Dementors, I'm pretty sure.
No.
They have no need for gold.
No, you just give them souls. There's this song that I love called "Oh Death," and it says, "No wealth, no silver, no money, no gold. Nothing satisfies me but your soul." And that's a Dementor.
Yes. That's what they sing all the time.
I said this
If
image.
they can sing at all.
Oh, I said this image of like Dementors with like little pickaxes over their shoulders, like the Seven Dwarves, waltzing through the halls of Azkaban, going, "No wealth, no ruin, no silver, no gold. Nothing satisfies me but your soul."
Now we just need Azkaban, the musical. All your dreams will have come true.
But it's a place full of such despair. I doubt people could even have music. Like, they couldn't. Music, even when it's made from pain, is happy in a way.
Yeah, it brings solace. And if you are around Dementors, you can't have such things, so...
Yep. So... There was a lot of opposition from the wizarding community, both for the use of Dementors and using a building such as Azkaban, with what had happened there. But Raoul carried out his plan anyway, and started
He
sending...
said, "I don't care what you all say, I'm gonna do what I want."
We know leaders like that.
Anywho.
So, he started putting prisoners in there, and it says none ever emerged. If they were not mad and dangerous before being placed in Azkaban, they swiftly became so.
That sounds like a good thing to do. Just lock them up and throw away the key and not worry about what happens to them.
That's the thing, like, that I don't get, and I'll get into it in detail soon, but people who get, like, 6 months in Azkaban or 3 years in Azkaban, it's like, no, what you mean is life, but we can't give you life. Yet.
Pretty much.
Anyway, so Raoul was succeeded by another name we know, which is, well, we know the last name, Perseus Parkinson.
Of course.
Yeah. And he was also pro-Azkaban, and it wasn't until Eldritch Diggory took over the Ministry of Magic. Hey, another name! So it'd been operating for 15 years by then. There'd been no breakouts and no breaches of security, and everyone thought it was working well. However, Diggory went to visit, and when he realised what it was like, he was not impressed, shall we say.
He had some issues.
There were some concerns. It says, prisoners were mostly insane, and a graveyard had been established to accommodate those who died of despair. So, in London, Diggory established a committee to explore alternatives, or at the very least, remove the Dementors. And his experts said to him, unfortunately, the reason the Dementors were mostly confined to the island was because they were being provided with souls to feed on, and if they took the prisoners away, the Dementors would head to the mainland.
But would they? Because it was abandoned for a while and the Dementors just stayed there, didn't they?
But they didn't know. Maybe now they've learned. They'd only ever known the island, but now they know there's a world outside. Ooh.
Okay. Makes sense.
That's the thing. I wonder if there's Dementors in other places of the world. Because this
Well,
makes
we
it
know-
sound very much like they're from Azkaban. That's where they originate.
Oh, you're wondering if they originated somewhere else? Because we do know that they're in other places.
That's why I'm like, did they just originate in Azkaban and just a few of them, some, teenagers decided to go out on an adventure? I've got the most active imagination today. I've now got an image of a Dementor with a rucksack leaving Azkaban behind. with
I mean, it could happen.
waving parents on the shoreline as he floats away. I should just draw a comic if I could draw.
You should.
I can't draw. It'll just
Well,
be black splodges. There was.
I mean, that's what they are.
There was a Twitter post. I can't remember what county it was, but it was an English county that said there'd been a report of a Dementor in the park. And
Oh, we had the same thing over here.
you saw the Twitter post?
It was something that they reported was here in the U.S.
Oh, okay, maybe it was
like near where I work.
maybe it was the US. I can't remember. I just remember I didn't even look up. I just looked at the post and it was a plastic bag stuck in a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like it was not in fact a Dementor.
We're happy to announce that it wasn't a soul-sucking monster. It's fine.
They were like, the problem is Muggles can't see Dementors, and our one officer trained to Patronus charms was off duty.
Yes. It was very good.
So, despite this advice, Diggory had been so horrified by what he saw in Azkaban, he kept pressing the committee to find an alternative. He figured we'll deal with the Dementors when they come.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, before a decision could be made, Diggory caught dragonpox and died.
Suspiciously.
Yes. And from that time until Kingsley Shacklebolt, no minister ever considered closing Azkaban.
I mean, it seemed like a pretty good idea.
Well, as far as
just to kind of keep it where it was.
So, nobody visited, or rarely would ministers visit, and they justified that it was fine because the prisoners had never escaped.
Until they did.
Well, yes, for 3 centuries, nobody escaped. And then there was 2 escapes in a few years. One was undetected, which was Barty Crouch Jr. Him and his mother had polyjuice potions and turned into each other. And the blind and loveless Dementors could not tell.
Yeah, they had one healthy and one dying person coming in and one healthy and one dying person leaving, so it was fine.
All good in their book.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the very ingenious escape by Sirius Black, which was definitely noticed.
Yeah, they were all over that once they realized what happened.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. All they knew was he was gone. They don't know how he did it.
How did they come to realize he was gone?
They couldn't sense him at all.
Okay.
Because he would...
But they didn't sense a dog leaving?
Well, that's what he said. His thoughts were simpler in dog form, so they thought he was just going mad. They were giving... He slipped through his bars or something.
Because he was so skinny.
He was so skinny, so in dog form he was able to slip through the bars, make a break for it, and swim away.
Mm-hmm.
Without being detected.
It's pretty slick.
That would have been a tough swim. The North Sea is notoriously rough and...
Cold.
And unfriendly. It's a mean sea.
Mm-hmm.
So over the next few years, after Sirius Black's escape, there was 2 mass breakouts.
Indeed, there was.
And the Dementors had swapped sides. And were working for...
because they were natural allies of the Death Eaters.
Yeah. Exactly. And they were promised complete free reign.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Voldemort was defeated, and Kingsley Shacklebolt had Azkaban purged of the Dementors.
How? Just sent them away? Into...
Lots of Patronuses. I wonder how they killed them. I didn't realize they couldn't be killed until I read this.
Yeah, so why do you banish them? Where do you send them?
Where did they go? Maybe they're in Antarctica, chilling with the penguins.
Hey, don't do that to the penguins.
The penguins are fine. They are, like, Dementor resistant.
Okay, as long as that's true.
Yeah, they're fine. They're just like, what's up, bro? And the Dementors, they go, it's fucking cold.
Oh, man. There are some people down in Antarctica, though.
Yeah, there's a few
researchers
stations.
and such.
Yeah. That would make an awesome horror movie.
Dementors in Antarctica?
Yeah.
You should get right on that, right in that screenplay.
Yeah. It'll be like, there's a movie, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's set up north, far north.
30 Days of Night?
Thank you. Yes, with the vampires.
Yes. You're welcome.
That's what I was just thinking of. I've seen that once.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't as scary as I hoped, but then I appreciated that it wasn't scary, because I was like, if it had been scary, Mel would have had issues.
Yeah, you don't like scary.
I don't like scary, but I like vampires.
That seems counterintuitive, Mel.
But I don't like nice vampires.
You don't like nice vampire? What is going on over there?
It's like I like vampires to be bad.
So you don't like Angel? Is that what you're telling me?
I
Is that what
do.
you're trying to tell me right now?
I do like Angel, but like...
For any of our listeners that don't know, we are doing a Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast, where I'm watching the series for the first time, and Mel didn't think it was important to let me know that the guy I was falling in love with was a vampire. You should check it out. It's called Chosen.
Yes.
But she doesn't apparently like nice vampires that,
I've got a complicated...
attractive.
I've got a complicated relationship with vampires, okay? There is a... Because I love... The whole reason people like vampires is because they're dark and forbidden and dangerous.
Uh-huh.
And Angel's kind of on a leash.
Okay, of sorts.
Yeah, he's got his soul, which other vampires do not, and that's what keeps him from hurting people. He is still capable of doing it, it's just he knows...
He could if he wanted to.
Exactly, he knows the morality.
Mm-hmm. So you just like vampires as long as they don't have a soul and they will just kill whoever they want.
It's complicated. I like Spike, put it that way. I love Spike.
That is not helping your case at all.
He's just... Because he's capable of love. He loves Drusilla. Then we've got so off topic, but...
Yes, we've talked about this on Chosen. Go and find that podcast, listen to it. We've discussed whether or not you can love when you don't have a soul. Anywho. Continue with Azkaban talk.
Dementors in Antarctica.
Yes.
That's where they are. They're chilling with the penguins. The wizards have like warding charms to keep them away from the research station and the tourists. Do you know you can go down to Antarctica as a tourist? I had a co-worker do it. Why would you? Apparently it was amazing. Like, he said he would never have done it if he didn't win the tickets, but he's glad he won the tickets.
So it's not something he would actually spend money on?
No, like... But then there's people he met there who have gone, like, every 5 years. They go to Antarctica, and they take the kids. The grown kids. And you could, like...
Is it, like, super cold?
Yeah, you go in summer, but it's still super cold. They did things like, kayaking, photography. People were doing diving. There were scuba divers there.
Nope. Not for me.
Actually, it was funny. He proposed to his girlfriend there, but he kept missing it. He had thought of all these ways to do it, but he kept missing the opportunity. And what he ended up doing, their tour group was sliding down this hill, and he kept holding it back, going, no, we'll wait till the last one's on the hill. And then they were on their own there, and he proposed, and she just was quiet. And he goes to her, your dad said it was okay. Because he asked her dad. Anyway, and then she just went, okay, like she was so shocked. He gave her the ring, and then just slid down the hill and left her to deal with it. There's like footage of him. He had like a little... He had like a little GoPro, so there's footage of him sliding down the hill, and she's just standing there on the top.
She's shocked. She didn't think it would ever happen. Oh, man.
So, sorry, Kingsley Shacklebolt purged Azkaban of Dementors. Yes. They went to Antarctica.
Let's get back to the thing that happened here.
Yep. So Azkaban did remain a prison. However, the guards are now auras, and they are regularly rotated, and there have been no breakouts since.
So, before they purged Azkaban of Dementors,
Mm.
were there any people that weren't prisoners there?
I don't believe so. That's what I'm led to believe. People did it because if there was part further up where nobody really went.
Right, no visitors
Yeah.
and stuff.
They turned a blind eye to the
ministers.
inhumane conditions inside the fortress, permitted it to be magically enlarged and expanded, and rarely visited due to the awful effects on entering the building populated by thousands of Dementors.
Yeah, so who cooked the food?
Real questions.
Well, no, seriously, they had to feed them. So
House
is there
elves.
like a Dementor that makes the food and wears like an apron that says "Kiss the Cook"? Like, is that
I've
something that
seen that.
happens?
There is a meme of that. I've seen that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I brought it up. But I really do wonder, like, who cooks the food?
Yeah, like
Is there a Dementor that can cook? Like, I don't understand.
I am going to tweet JK right now.
Do it. We need answers.
Twitter.
I think you've tweeted her a couple of times.
Yeah,
the questions that we had.
I tweet her frequently, going, JK,
Best friend.
who cooks the food at Azkaban?
We ask the real questions here.
Maybe the prisoners do it.
You think they have they rotate kitchen duty?
Yeah, because
Like the not so maximum security prisoners?
yeah, because we know that Sirius is actually kept in solitary. So it's presumed if he was kept in solitary, there is an alternative to solitary.
Yeah, not solitary. As they call it in American prisons, Gen Pop for general population.
Yeah, I've heard that. So yeah, maybe the Gen Pop do the cooking. You know, Hagrid was totally on cooking duty when he was there.
But nobody likes to eat his foods.
I know. Punishment to the extreme.
Poor guy.
So there's a note at the bottom of Rowling's thoughts, and the name Azkaban is derived from Alcatraz.
Okay.
And Abaddon, which is a Hebrew word meaning place of destruction or the depths of hell.
That makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah, so that was clever. I always thought, ever since Azkaban was introduced, I thought about Alcatraz.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a beautiful picture at the bottom of this article, really nicely done, of the Quidditch game where the Dementors turn up.
Ooh.
And there's just loads of them on the ground looking up as lightning sparks across the sky, illuminating the Quidditch players.
Crazy.
So that's the history of Azkaban and how it all played out.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, I really like that she's gone back and put that in there.
But she needs to tell us who cooks the food. That's all.
Yes, we need answers.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got another short article, which is this beautiful image. I'm just going to send it to you so you can look.
Okay.
Which is stories of various prisoners who stayed in Azkaban. Oh, what is
Okay.
Try and get the chat window up. There we go. I also found an article about Dementors, but I think I might save that, and we can probably do an episode on them.
Okay.
Because I think there's a lot more to discuss when it comes to the Dementors themselves.
Mm-hmm. Trials of Azkaban. Some of the most notorious criminals of the wizarding world can be found, but not all of them are guilty. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. So it's this awesome photo of a tower, and as you go down, you get to see various prisoners. So we have at the top, Sirius Black, wrongfully imprisoned, escaped. And it says, escaped to hunt down the man who framed him, Peter Pettigrew.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Marvolo Gaunt, grandfather of Lord Voldemort, sentenced for injuring members of the Ministry of Magic.
He deserved what he got.
Well, we know he was in for, I think it was 6 years. And
Was
then,
it 6 or was it... I don't know. He was in there for a period of time. I don't remember the exact
neither
amount.
do I, because both him and Morphin were arrested. But when he came out, his daughter was gone.
Yeah, and then he never got to see Morphin come home because Morphin was in there.
No, maybe it was Morphin who was 6 years.
Yeah, Morphin did. I don't know. Because Morphin died in Azkaban because he had to go back.
Yes.
He went back after Voldemort killed his father and grandparents and blamed it on Morphin. So that sounds right.
Because, if we go down underneath Marvolo is Morphin, died in Azkaban, first incarcerated for Ministry attacks, returned to Azkaban when framed for the murder of the Riddle family.
Ta-da! Nailed it.
Percival Dumbledore died in Azkaban, confined to Azkaban for assaulting the Muggles who attacked his daughter.
I'm okay with that.
Rubius Hagrid, wrongfully imprisoned, falsely accused of opening the Chamber of Secrets twice, exiled to Azkaban on the second occasion.
I often wonder why they... Is it because he was a child that they didn't send him there originally?
Maybe they couldn't actually, I don't know, prove it. It was one of those things where we think you've done it, so we're going to punish you, so he got expelled, but we don't have enough evidence to convict you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Mrs. Crouch died in Azkaban, used Polyjuice Potion to appear as her son Barty Crouch Jr. and entered Azkaban in his place.
Didn't enter Azkaban in his place.
No, technically not, but she stayed there in his place.
Yes.
We have Bellatrix and Rodolphus Lestrange. They escaped, imprisoned for torturing Alice and Frank Longbottom into insanity.
So do you think that if you're married and you both get sent to Azkaban, you get a double cell?
I don't think they had a double cell.
No?
No.
Dang.
No, I don't imagine, is it called conjugal visits? Are allowed.
It's called. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that Bellatrix was into that with Rodolphus anyway.
No. They were a marriage of appropriateness and convenience.
Yeah, pretty much.
So then we've got Antonin Dolohov, escaped, a muggle torturing Death Eater convicted of the brutal murders of Gideon and Fabian Pruitt.
Never heard of him. Yeah, and he also, let the record show, in the second Battle of Hogwarts, he is the one that killed Remus Lupin. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Augustus Rookwood escaped, a double agent convicted of leaking secrets about the Ministry of Magic to Lord Voldemort.
He was in cahoots with Ludo Bagman.
Yes.
That's where he thought he was where he was getting his information from.
Yes, poor Ludo was just stupid.
He really was. That poor guy.
So my question that I've got underneath all this is this appropriate? How can people be sent there temporarily?
What do you mean?
Okay, so question 1, is Azkaban an appropriate prison? I say no.
No.
No
way.
It is completely inhumane.
Yeah, to have, monsters sucking out every bit of happiness and can eventually suck out your soul doesn't seem like a good idea.
No. And to have a place where the walls are steeped in despair and pain.
Yeah, so even if the monsters aren't there, you're still in a bad place.
Yeah, it's just rehabilitation, people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. How can people be sent there temporarily?
Well, maybe there's different sections. One where you're guarded by Dementors, and the other where you're just kind of hanging out in the walls that are steeped in misery.
No,
I don't know.
Hagrid says it was so horrible he doesn't want to think about it or remember it, and you hear people...
He just wanted to die in his sleep.
Yeah, and
He said he would go to bed hoping he never woke up again.
Oh, what's his name? Podmore. He was the one who was... Sturgis. He was the one who got arrested in the 5th book, wasn't he, for trying to break in to a secure area of the Ministry?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got sentenced to 6 months in Azkaban. I'm like, you're not coming back okay from that.
Yeah, and Mundungus also got sentenced to 6 months in Azkaban.
He always seems fine.
Yeah, well, we do see him in the second or third chapter or fourth chapter of Deathly Hallows, and that's after he was imprisoned for impersonating an Inferi.
Exactly. So he got out, and I'm just there going, you would be so traumatized because while you're there, you were reliving your worst memories. And in a place that's so evil that people won't go there to check it. Like, I'm surprised Fudge went there.
Oh yeah, it's very strange.
Because, yeah, Fudge goes there, I think, a couple of times, actually.
Mm-hmm.
He goes there before Sirius escapes and after Sirius escapes.
Right.
Because the Dementors weren't happy.
Well, would you be if one of the people you're supposed to be guarding escaped when it's never happened before?
To their knowledge.
Well, and I think we're led to believe that the Dementors that are there have kind of always been there. So they had a great record of not letting people escape, and then all of a sudden, someone's gone. It broke their streak.
Yeah, it makes them look bad. What if the mystery stops sending people over now? Like, you didn't think about this.
They're gonna get a bad review.
Bad Yelp review.
I wasn't thinking Yelp, I was thinking of, like, year-end review from your boss.
You can just see them being, like, reprimanded in the break room. It's just like...
So good.
It's just like, you didn't do well today. I'm very disappointed. A prisoner has escaped. I'm docking your pay.
Yep.
One less...
You gotta dock that pay.
Less soul-sucking for you.
Johansson gets the next soul, not you, like it was planned.
But... I'm just so... I cannot fathom how somebody could come back from that at all. I wouldn't want to go there. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near a Dementor to begin with.
I mean, maybe if they had, like, a rehabilitation program after you get out of Azkaban, like you have
totally
like a counselor. Oh, I know they don't. That's why I'm saying we need more. That's what could help these people. They could recover from the mental trauma of being in Azkaban. That's why we need psychiatrists and the like.
Mental health in the wizarding world is completely inadequately looked after.
Yeah, especially with having a place like this for criminals. It's not going to make them better. I mean, from what we see, most of the people that go in there never get out.
Exactly.
So maybe they're not worried about the few people that are only there for a little bit.
It seems like their system is more deterring people from crime by fear than if they commit a crime, rehabilitating them.
Yeah. Scare them straight, basically.
Scare them straight. Ugh. Is there anything you'd like to add?
So they still, quote unquote, they still use Azkaban, the place,
Correct.
as a prison, but it's just staffed by actual people.
Yes, staffed by auras. I'd say that when they purged the Dementors, they probably, made it a bit nicer, so there's not so much to spare.
Put some couches in there, painted the walls.
There's a rec room. They play the prison has a basketball team and the auras have a basketball team, and they have friendly matches every few months.
And people that get told about it are like, what's basketball?
I was gonna say Quidditch, but then I'm like, why would you give a prisoner a broom?
Yeah, that's not gonna work out well.
No, they're just like, yeah, I promise, I'll be good, sucker.
And maybe with the sucker, there was maybe now that the Dementors are all gone, the North Sea is calmer.
Maybe it's really nice.
They were probably just stirring it up.
If you're good, you get to sit out on the western bank and watch the sunset.
Ooh. Fancy. fancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that that's a better course than still having Dementors there sucking out people's souls.
Mm. Shall we move on to something slightly lighter?
I would love that.
Let's play a game of random ships. This is a segment
good.
where we build a boat, set sail on the Black Sea. Not the Black Sea, the North Sea. I mixed them up. Hey, the Black Sea. Let's go with that. It's not the Black Lake. It's not the North Sea. But no, we said today we'll set it sail on the North Sea to see if it sails or sinks.
If we fire a cannon at it.
Yeah. Yep. Fire a cannon from the walls of Azkaban. It's a fortress after all. Why don't they have cannons? I'm sure there's cannons.
They might on the roof or something.
Okay, so for our random
Is there a stipulation?
There is a stipulation. It
Okay.
has to be somebody who's been to Azkaban, whether that's visited or been an extended guest.
That's a nice way to put it. Extended guest.
Long-term guest.
Okay.
Long-term resident.
So they could have just visited, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I got mine.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Sirius
Dumbles.
Black.
You got this.
Okay.
I believe in you. And I meant Albus Dumbledore, not his dad, Percival. Just in case you were wondering.
Yeah, I figured. You can go and look up the fan fiction.
Oh, goody!
Well, I'm going
Just I always wanted.
I'm going to stick to the Azkaban theme. Because, I could do it, post-Azkaban or pre-Azkaban, but no. Shortly after being arrested, Sirius is visited by Dumbledore in Azkaban. Mm-hmm. Dumbledore wants to hear his story. Finally, someone wants to listen to him. So, Dumbledore's led into his cell, and Sirius starts to tell his story. And, Sirius is very hurt by everything that's happened. He is deeply, deeply traumatized. And Dumbledore offers him some comfort. Some very R-rated comfort. Because it's a ship.
Right.
See, I liked the fan fiction until I had to add that in.
I couldn't find Sirius B on this list, and now I found it, so we're good.
Very good.
Oh, there's oh no.
Go on, give me a summary.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to, because I did pairings, but I don't think that it actually gave me actual
There's
pairings.
actually some really nice fan fiction of them in the Flitwick's Tower discussing everything before Dumbledore sends Harry and Hermione back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't like
sorry,
such,
I'm trying to find something.
They're just like nice stories. They're not anything more than Sirius telling Dumbledore his story. Which is, why didn't anyone listen to him? Why didn't anyone give him the chance to talk is the question. It was so bad.
Sorry, I'm not gonna search on fanfiction.net. I'm just going to search in Google or Bing, it might be, or Yahoo, something.
You are determined. I am. I have gone to Archive to see what they've got. H for Harry. Harry Potter. Handmaid's Tale.
It all just goes Grindelwald or Dumblewald. It's all
Okay,
it's all about Grindelwald and
Sirius
Dumbledore.
Black / Albus Dumbledore.
Sorry that I'm not very good at this.
No, I can't imagine it's a common pairing.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, ew, okay, no, I'm not even gonna read that at all. Because that's just bad.
There's one that's defending Sirius Black. Not satisfied with what Dumbledore told in the letter he left Harry, Vernon Dursley goes to the Wizarding World and learns about Sirius Black.
Oh, I actually
Okay.
started reading that. It's not bad. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, we don't have really anything to support that this ship is a thing.
Oh, I found it. Stories to tell. 4 years after his latest defeat, Voldemort remains missing. Albus Dumbledore is convinced he's out there, ready and waiting to return again. Sirius Black, at Dumbledore's side, quietly advocates for the aging headmaster's position. Meanwhile, it's also got Draco and Harry, so it goes Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter wander just a little aimlessly through life, both beginning to wonder if life was better when teachers told them what to do all the time. Seamus Finnegan and Dean Thomas know exactly what they want out of life, and naturally they envy their friend's listless freedom. Hermione Weasley finds herself part of a tiny group at the Ministry of Magic who still care about what Dumbledore has to say. And Voldemort? Voldemort is waiting for his next chance of glory. So there you go.
I think it's safe to fire a cannon at this one.
Yeah.
There it goes.
But, there's some beautiful fanfics of them just talking about Harry and stuff.
I like that better than them being a couple. Let's be real.
Yeah. So that's really all I have to say. I don't have a what if, and I couldn't find any fan things for Azkaban apart from fan fiction, which people should go look and read if they're interested. There's so much out there.
There is a lot.
Is there anything you would like to add, Marissa, before we say our goodbyes?
No.
Okay.
Need to make these people better, not just sentence them to live out their days being tortured, basically.
Exactly. Everybody who's listened should go have a little bit of chocolate and have a little bit of chocolate and resolve yourselves not to committing crimes in the wizarding world. Although we are at the Kingsley Shacklebolt level, so it won't be as bad, but still, crime doesn't pay. Be good children. If you want to get in contact with us, you can email us, witchweeklypodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, witchweeklycast, Facebook, witchweeklypodcast. We are part of M&M Podcast Network, which can be found at mmpodcastnetwork.com, mmpodcastnetwork@gmail.com. We are on Facebook, MM Podcast Network, and Twitter, MMP Network. If you'd like to discuss Harry Potter with me, you can always send me a message on Twitter. I am M.A. Bickett. And Marissa, where can people find you?
If you want to send me a tweet about what your Patronus would be if you ever had to fight the Dementors and what your memory would be to produce that Patronus, you can send that to me at RissaRoo312.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, and remember, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if only one remembers to tune in to Witch Weekly.